Well, hey everybody, it's Daniel from Walker.
And I'm Tom.
Hey, it's great to be with you for another Walker Talk video, where we get to discuss all the amazing things happening here at Walker and the people who are part of them.
Yeah, and we've got some of both this week. Some amazing stories, some more user submissions, and a cool announcement.
Right, we're not being very subtle with these, are we?
No.
But we're really excited about everything we have to share. The stories, the profiles, and the announcements that's coming up. So, Tom, should we get right to it?
Yeah, I'm with you, Daniel. So let's roll that intro.
Awesome. Well, Tom, let's get right to it. What's with these shirts?
Well, these t-shirts are going to be given away on Thursday, October 8th at 1 p.m. Mountain Time for our Walker Live YouTube event.
Right. So those of you who join us for our live event will be able to let us know that you were there in order to commemorate your participation in Walker Live 2020.
Yeah, and even though the shirt is really cool, the event is going to be even cooler.
Right. So Tom, let's explain what's going on here.
Okay. Well, Daniel, in a year where it seems like everything is being canceled, like the GIE show and even our own factory day, we wanted to do something to bring our friends into the engineering department. Not only to meet our engineering team, but also to see the new products that Walker is releasing in 2021.
Tom, it's definitely something you're not going to want to miss. Our engineering team has been hard at work on some amazing new Walker product you've just got to see.
Yeah, but this is a live event as well, Daniel, so we will be responding to comments and questions throughout the whole time. So make sure you join us and hop into the conversation.
Right. And while Walker product is the focus of our live stream, we also want to show off the new Walker Wear line for 2021, and we've got a few cool guest appearances.
Yeah, I'm so excited. This is an event that you are not going to want to miss. So make sure you mark your calendars, set a reminder, do whatever it takes for you to join us on Thursday, October 8th at 1 p.m. Mountain Time.
Right. Well, Tom, should we hop right into our first story?
Yeah, sounds good. What do you have?
Well, Tom, I got the chance to meet a guy named Steve Huval. He's a residential customer with about 2 acres of land, and he was able to cut his man hours of maintaining his lawn each week from over 6 hours to just over an hour with his new H27i and a 52 rear discharge.
Wow, that's huge.
Right. And as a retired engineer, he just went on and on about all the unexpected benefits he found in the Walker once he started becoming familiar with it.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, he had a lot to say, so let's check it out. Well, hey Tom, I'm here with my friend Steve Huval, who I've just met, started to hear his story, and it was so cool we just had to get the camera out and capture this because we love getting out on the road and just meeting people who are using the Walker mower, putting it to its paces, whether it's commercial or whether it's residential. And Steve, your story just really captured my imagination. Our friend Alan kind of let us know who you are and that you've got a new Walker and it's really made an impact on your day-to-day life in terms of maintaining your yard. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about what you were experiencing prior to the Walker and then how the Walker has helped you out?
Okay. Well, I went from a very small lot where a traditional lawn tractor type mower did a good job for me. I bought a larger, more traditional type lawn mower when I moved out here onto 2 acres. Quickly discovered that that wasn't going to get the job done in the time that I was willing to spend. So I started looking for alternatives.
Right.
And that led me to what I've got today.
Right. So what were some of the specific things that were maybe like the pain points for you? I mean, depending on the size, I mean, I see you've got a little over an acre here, so I imagine ground speed, but like what were some of the specific things that previous mower just wasn't doing well?
Well, ground speed was certainly an issue. The ability to have a floating deck so that you could handle bumps, first of all, without being thrown out of the seat, but secondly, maintaining an attractive mowing job by having the deck float. The lawn tractor was unable to mow underneath a number of trees.
Right,
and
that front reach.
Yep, that forced me to, in some instances, use a weed eater. More often than not, I had to use a push mower to get up under the trees.
Right.
So, all things considered, it took me only a few months to realize that the lawn tractor I had invested in was not going to do it. So I began looking for alternatives and did a lot of research, went through the whole variety of options that are out there. I knew I needed a zero turn mower,
right.
But beyond that, I had a lot of research to do.
Right. So zero turn, a front floating deck was a priority.
Yep.
Well, in my mind, I'm hearing how the Walker is ticking all these things off. But like, what, did you go see a dealer? Did you just do some Google searching? Kind of what were some of the things?
I did a lot of Google searching and even watched, read an article, Bob and I believe a gentleman from John Deere having a discussion about the Walker design with the floating deck versus the more traditional deck suspended from the carriage. Read all of that, watched a lot of videos. I actually went to the dealership with the idea that a Hustler flip up would do it for me. Certainly far less expensive.
Sure.
But I got there, rode it around the parking lot a little bit, realized, fortunately, the parking lot was a little bit rough. So I realized the disadvantage of the lap bars in stability.
Kind of jostling you around a little.
I was bouncing more than I wanted to and steering crooked.
Sure.
So they suggested that I try the Walker.
So you ended up with an H27i.
Yep.
What size deck do you have on that?
I have 52 inch.
52 rear discharge.
Rear discharge, that was important to me because with all of the flower beds that I have, I didn't want to side discharge into those, even with a mulching kit on it. And I also wanted the deck to be symmetrical so that whether I'm mowing against a wall on the right side or the left side, it's still easy to do.
Perfect. Well, can we go see your mower?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
So this is it.
Here it is.
This is my pride and joy. Hopefully it shows in the way that it's cared for.
Well, you do have 27 hours on it, but honestly, it doesn't look like you've run it yet. It looks like you do keep it pretty clean.
Well, I do clean it, and as I said earlier, one of the most important things to me was to have the ability to flip the deck up for maintenance, for changing the blades, which I do frequently. I sharpen them frequently to keep a nice cut, and I try to clean under the deck so that I get the efficiency in mulching by not having a lot of grass stuck under there for the freshly clipped grass to stick to. So, is that it's really as easy as flipping these.
Moving the foot
Remember to always move these up there so that they latch. And then
it's picking up the slack in the lines, but then it just starts pulling right up.
So as you can see, that makes a big difference for getting under it to clean it.
Lock it
Good
in,
idea to always latch
sure.
that just in case your hydraulics should ever fail. It won't fall on you because it is heavy enough that if it hit my head, it might dent my deck.
It would hurt. Wow, yeah. This is a great setup. It looks like you're keeping it clean. And like you said earlier, keeping it clean underneath really does help the grass circulate and then lay down flat on these rear discharge decks. That way you don't have any wind rowing or anything like that. You've experienced 2 mowers here in a pretty short amount of time. Tell me about the experience you were having, like the amount of time you were using, some of the kind of griefs you were having you described earlier. And then, I mean, maybe I'm setting you up a little bit, but how's the Walker helping you out?
Well, so in a nutshell, it's taken me from 6.5 hours of lawn work each session to an hour and 20 to 30 minutes, including cleanup. This makes it to where I can do the cleanup, I can do the blades. In fact, I keep an extra set of blades, so when I'm done mowing, I just swap them, and when I have time, I sharpen them.
Right.
And so it's always ready to go. The improvement in ground speed helps tremendously when you're mowing 2 acres, just getting from point A to point B. The zero turn capability, the ability to go up underneath and mow under the trees without stopping, all of those things cut it to 20% of the original mowing time. It's also allowed me to mow more frequently on the good grass that needs mowed more frequently. I used to mow once a week with the riding mower because that was just all I could make time for. Now I mow the field grass once a week. I mow the good grass in between each of those mowings. So
it's not as much of a, you're not dreading getting it out and the work that it requires to, you know, put it to use and then clean it up.
Sure. When it's just the nice grass that I'm mowing, we're talking 20-25 minute job. And so it's just no problem at all to do that in the middle of the week, in between mowing the rest of the property.
Man, that's amazing. That's awesome. You know, we've heard some of those numbers before. We've done some property studies in the past, but really to hear how it actually comes down to it, to a homeowner who was experiencing this thing, and now with the Walker, such a difference.
It is.
Really cool to hear, really cool to hear. Well, thanks so much for showing us your mower and telling us your story. We'd love to see you put it in action. Are you willing to do that?
I am willing to do that.
Let's see you mowing on some parts of your yard.
Okay.
Great. Thanks so much for showing us your beautiful mower and your beautiful property. Congratulations on owning a Walker.
Well, thank you.
So glad you're part of the family, and may it treat you well for many years to come.
I have full confidence it will. This will be the last mower I'll ever have to buy.
Nice. Thanks so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Yep, God bless.
Appreciate it. Thank you for selling a mower that's worthy of my purchase.
All right. Here we go, Tom. Let's get back to it.
Wow, Steve just bought back some serious time in his life.
Right, and Tom, you know, he even said he really values a nice looking lawn and he enjoys his outdoor chores, but he doesn't want to be that guy who slaves away on his lawn every day. He has plenty of other things to look forward to, namely his masterclass wood shop and the amazing projects he does. Plus, he teaches woodworking classes.
That's awesome, Daniel. Thank you so much for sharing Steve's story with us. Well, do you think we should take a few minutes and share some amazing submissions that we received from our friends just these past few weeks?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty then. For our first one, we head out to Lake Martin, Alabama to check out Greg Baker's work. There is nothing like long, straight Walker stripes to make a property look amazing.
Great work, Greg, and thanks for sending that in. But now let's head over to Gorham, Maine to check out the work from Robin's Property Services. Looks like the leaves are just starting to turn, but you know you gotta stay on those stripes as long as you can.
Nice work, guys. And speaking of trees and lines, check this out from Rachel Gray in Anchorage, Alaska. Holy cow, I would need some Dramamine to get that line job done. Rachel manages multiple crews, and this is just one example of the great work they are doing. Congratulations on a successful year, Rachel.
Well, that's cool. Hey, and this next shot comes in from East End Property Management in Bergen County, New Jersey. This shot has it all. Not much else to say.
Well, Daniel, keep the applause coming, because check this out. Kirk, you have submitted before, but man, do you keep nailing it.
Wow, you guys are pro. Congratulations.
Yeah, weren't those great?
Right, it never gets old showing off the amazing work people are doing with their Walker mowers.
Right. So if you want your video or photo or story to be featured on one of these videos, then head over to walkertalk.com or any of our social media pages and drop us a line.
Yeah, and Tom, we're about to head into autumn, so we can't wait to see your leaf cleanup videos. Those are always awesome.
Yeah, agreed, Daniel. So you know, Daniel, we've been doing some amazing and great stories over the last few months, but this next one, I think it's the coolest one that we've ever come across.
Right, yeah. We've shared this with a few people who have been in the industry for well over 30 years, and they've never heard anything like it.
So it goes like this. Jim Zaccaro of Phoenix, Arizona, who's retired and has had a long, successful career, he has a contractor by the name of Tony Guevara, who has been meticulously taking care of Zaccaro's property for over 20 years with a Walker mower. And over the years, Jim and Tony have developed a great relationship of trust and admiration.
Right, Jim and his wife Ann have watched Tony's kids grow up, and even now his grandkids. He brings them to the job site, and really they've all become really quite close.
Correct. And this is where the story gets really interesting. About 6 weeks ago, while Tony was mowing at Jim's property, Jim noticed that Tony was working on his 28-year-old Walker underneath a tree in the backyard. And this is where the story takes the coolest turn.
Right, it really is unbelievable. And we happen to be on hand to check out what happened afterward. So you've just got to see this.
I can't wait.
Royal Gardens 2, which is one of these accounts that Tony still has, their landscape maintenance guy retired. And so I was on the board but didn't live there. I was on the board of that because I owned some property in there. And we had a half a dozen different people that they were interviewed. And Tony just seemed to be down to earth and genuine and, you know, everything that you like in a real person. And a one-man operation, he had a helper occasionally, but I mean, he took personal responsibility if a plant wasn't right, it was his responsibility that it wasn't right. And I just liked that attitude. I thought that was, you know, Tony had been so helpful to us over the years, and I mean, you don't even ask him. He said, is it okay if I fertilize? Is it okay if I get the stuff for nut grass? Can I fill in the planter out front so it looks better? Sure, you know. And and then it dawned on me how often he's out here doing minor repairs. So I said, you know, what if we got him a new mower? And I saw the kind they have like at Lowe's and Home Depot and so on. And I asked Tony, I said, without giving it away, I said, I have a friend who's looking for a riding mower. What would you get? He said, I'd stick with a Walker. And I says, why is that? He says, because they're the best. And he says, well, the one that he's got is like 25 years old, and he'd rather maintain that one and use it than to spend half the price and get a plastic one somewhere. So it became more clear to me that there's nothing that we could do that would be as important and as much appreciated as a Walker mower. So that's what we did. Oh, okay. Well, are you here? Okay, thanks, Tony. Talk to you later. Bye. I don't know if you talked to your kids, but I talked to Nicole a couple days ago.
Oh, you did?
Yes. And I think she'll be here like at noontime.
What?
Let me tell you why. We had been racking our brains trying to think what we could do for you, and we said, well, you know what? Why don't we repair his mower?
Wow.
That is yours.
Really?
We got that for you, yeah.
Oh, we done. Oh, man. That is nice.
It is nice. Are you in your truck now?
Yeah.
Do you have your mower up there?
Yeah, I have my-
We'll have to walk back and show you this nice truck.
Oh.
I couldn't think of anybody that we would rather do something nice for.
I don't know what to tell you, man. It's just...
Well, let's walk out and take a look at your mower.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm telling him that I'm still trying to appreciate it. Thank you. Let me give it a shot.
That old blower was back when I was
Like a
Oh,
Cadillac.
yeah.
Yeah, I hate to get it dirty. Wow. No, that's good.
We bought this place in 2000, and he was the first one that came in and cleaned it up and has been doing the maintenance on yard maintenance ever since. And we couldn't think of anything that we could, any way that we could show our appreciation for everything he's done over the years than the first class tool for a first class guy.
There you go. I'm officially a Walker owner.
But you know, it's really the best for the best. I mean, the best piece of equipment for the best guy I could think of. This just happened to be an opportunity that it'll do good for him. It makes me feel great, the fact that it helps him. You know, I can't think of anybody that I would rather give something important to, because it's what he does. It's his business.
Wow, I get chills every time I see it. How incredible. A happy customer blessing his longtime contractor and family friend with a brand new Walker mower.
You know, truly, people are good. And as you can see, Jim and his wife Ann and their son Jonathan were just so happy to be a part of Tony's ongoing success.
Right, such great people. And you know, these are the kind of people we get to meet doing this job.
And we love meeting new people. So as we wrap up this episode, we want to remind you all to make sure you share your story with us too.
Head over to walkertalk.com or any of our social media pages, share your video, your photo, and your story, and you just might be featured in an upcoming episode.
Hey Daniel, one more thing before we go.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Right, yes. So make sure you join us on Thursday, October 8th at 1 p.m. Mountain Time for Walker Live.
It really is gonna be a great time to see some new Walker product and to meet some cool new friends.
And get cool shirts.
Yep. Hey, well Tom, thanks again for another great episode.
Right, Daniel. And to all our friends out there, take care and be safe.
See ya.